Hi Libra, let's do your love and life message, okay? As always, keep in mind this is a general reading. It's not going to resonate with everyone that watches. There could be some role reversal as well. Also keep in mind that this does not necessarily apply directly to romantic love. It could be about family, friendships, or coworkers, any part of life, an aspect of life. So keep an open mind about the message. If it doesn't resonate, just try back next time. If you're new, please subscribe and hit the bell so you know when I read for your sign. So let's get into your message. And a relationship, there's been something painful that's happened, and there is transformation taking place. But somebody's kind of up in the air about what they want to do next. And furthermore, someone's feeling insecure because we've got the Seven of Swords. I see Judgment down here too. It's a big decision to make. So there's big decisions to make. And regardless of where you are on this journey with this person, it's really going to boil down to what sacrifices the both of you are willing to make, whether or not you can actually just stay present on the journey and let it unfold. And it's going to be a question of the future and what both of you want now versus what both of you might want later on, because we do have the journey card. I also think something that's really in focus for the relationship or relationships I'm picking up on in this reading is morals and values, your cultural values, your spiritual values, or your religious values, your societal morals and values. All of that is really coming into play. So it's very much about like core compatibility between two people. I also think family and children might be coming into play as well. I see that a masculine or a feminine perhaps may be looking for someone to marry and have a family with. I can see that something was maybe starting to happen here where a relationship was going to move to a new level or a next level. But I think someone might be hesitating. It seems like someone's called the ball because these are the overall themes for life right now. We have, for you guys, we have the cauldron, which is about synergy and it's about healing. But it's about healing at a core level, healing at a systemic level. The cauldron asks us to stop calling symptoms like refusing to see that a symptom isn't a core problem. It's not about Band-Aid solutions for you. It's about making sure that you and another person morally and ethically align with one another. And it's not just about like healing on the surface level. It's all about like healing generational stuff, root cause stuff, to make things move in a healthier, better way for everyone in society moving forward. I think you're very focused on family values right now and life values. Libras usually are frequently. You know, we're justice, so we care about how the world is behaving. I think you're thinking a lot about your behavior, and I think you're thinking a lot about other people's behavior too. I also don't think you want to turn a blind eye to anything anymore. The veil is here as well. You are trying to glean the potential future of this relationship, and so is this person. But it's also about your individual relationships as well. A catalyst or a challenge is infinite possibilities. And we do have the Seven of Cups. So it's possible that a problem is someone is not quite ready to give up their choices. It's also possible that the two of you are looking for something, maybe. You've maybe been through something difficult or someone is going through something difficult, but it might be about looking for a place to live, looking for your partner. Like I see here evidence of a masculine maybe like seriously looking for a long-term serious relationship, someone to marry, someone to have children with and all that. But it could also be them looking for a new job and a new engagement ring for you. Some of you might be looking for a house. So try not to be overwhelmed by all the possibilities. Just think about what you place value on and why at a deep core level, not just for yourself, but for humanity at large. And think about the future, where you're going, where they're going, where we're all going. We don't all have infinite possibilities to explore. But this is a challenge, you know, it's like we do technically on Earth, we have infinite possibilities, but not everyone can see that, or they're limited. Like sometimes having too many choices limits your ability to make a choice. And sometimes people can be cavalier about how many choices they think they have. So keep that in mind for yourself and for this person. Communication is very, very important right now. I could not get a card to come out of my astrology deck except for, and I was like, okay, well, if a card won't flip out, I always just wait until they tell me to stop and look at the bottom of the deck. So my system for reading tarot might be changing. It changes frequently. I've been doing it 30 years. So I'm like, we'll see. But yeah, this deck didn't pop a card. So they just said stop and look at the bottom. Communication's really important right now, Libra. How you think, communicate, write, talk, and travel through the world. Check out your Mercury imprint. It's very important right now. Like I just told you, mine's in Scorpio. That's been my challenge lately. Haven't been great at great communication. So it's important to focus on communication. Think about how you're communicating with others right now. And be very direct and very clear if you can. Mercury is retrograding, so I think I'm not even in touch with astrology at the moment. I've been focused on some other things, so that's neither here nor there. But again, it's about the sacrifices you're willing to make and about the journey. The mystical shaman is here with Pachamama and the Earth Keeper. Wow. Some of you really want to create your own heaven on earth. Some of you are becoming the mystical shaman. Some of you are becoming quite spiritual. You're becoming spiritual leaders. But there's only so much the shaman can do to help another person heal. It's very much about allowing others to approach. I'm sensing that a lot of you really want to be in solitude in a lot of ways right now. You might be quite spiritual. You might be very focused on creating your own spiritual garden. Pachamama speaks to Lilith. Lilith was Adam's first wife, and he and God found Lilith to be a little too opinionated, and they found that disagreeable, so they kicked her out of the garden and created Eve. And poor Lilith had to go create her own Garden of Eden and create it through the ashes and create a special place for herself where she felt supported. So it's so much about, some of you are very personalized in your spiritual development at this time. You're taking a very traditional path. But I'm hearing, because of the presence of the High Priestess here, you might be being seen as somewhat heretical and different. You might be challenging the system, and yet that does not make you any more or less powerful of a spiritual leader. Some of you are doing that. That's something I'm doing all the time. It's kind of a drag too. It might be kind of a drag for you, challenging the system and being a spiritual leader. I feel like some of you really want to change another person's mind, many minds. I'm also getting the sense that maybe spiritual beliefs might be getting in the way. But you have to stay on the journey while considering the future, but recognizing it isn't here yet. To move forward, you may need to make a sacrifice. But this relationship has been chaotic. There's chaos right now, and yet there is hope. A big problem is also choices. It's like, I kind of feel like this angel is looking at this whole thing and saying, is this always going to be chaotic, or should I have hope? Like that things could get better, and recognizing that you have choices, this other person has choices. So it's like, there's a hope that the chaos could get better. But at the same time, it's like, hey, we have choices. Also, in particular, any of you, there is something here that maybe looks like looking for a house, maybe wanting to sign a lease agreement or buy a home, or go somewhere together, maybe move in together or something. You may consider weather patterns of where you are living and moving to, and also the weather patterns of behavior of different people for choices like for a new job or where to live, a community, stuff like that. But the first message I really heard was you can either choose to see this person for who they really are, which this person does look somewhat chaotic at the moment, or you can choose hope and freedom for yourself away from that. It's like, I think you can't tell if this, it's almost as if you're splitting, like you think you have a choice on how you see this person as either all good or all bad sometimes. But I feel like this person is staying open maybe to their choices. Maybe you are too, but I got to tell you, Libra, your cards over here look really firm. You are definitely being a Libra right now, and in all the ways that Libra are. We'll talk about that. All right, so overall energy of the person around you and coming towards you, or perhaps moving away from you, is the Knight of Wands. So they could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. They have fiery, passionate energy. They're very restless at this time, and they're rebellious. They're also in a mode of action and expression. They're not feeling grounded and stable at this time quite the way a queen or a king would. This person's in the energy of having something to prove. There could be an age difference between the two of you. I also think it's possible that this person's being a little immature. Or at the very least, somewhat unrealistic. They're confused, and they're confused frequently because the way they feel about you is the moon. You're being seen as the high priestess. Interesting. Pisces energy. Quiet. You may be very hard for them to read right now. They may see you as very spiritual. What you need to know, or your advice, is the Eight of Swords. There's just stuff that they are trapped in their head about, or that you may be trapped in your head about. And the final outcome is the Seven of Cups. And there's all the choices, and not really knowing what to do next. So with this Knight of Wands, clarifying the Knight of Wands is the Six of Cups, the Six of Swords, and the Lovers. All right. Well, if the two of you were going somewhere together, they might be slipping back and reverting back into younger, less mature expressions. This is something that I talk with a lot of my clients about when I'm doing trauma-informed coaching, about how sometimes we can be very mature and fully emotionally developed in some ways, but then in other ways, in particular in intimate relationships, we can be kind of regressed, or we didn't fully develop emotionally properly. And as a result, sometimes we have an immature and not very realistic way of viewing relationships and love, and we can't really let ourselves grow up. And I do kind of get the sense, based on everything I see here, that you might be dealing with that. This person might be getting cold feet. They might be thinking a lot about their past. They might be wanting to revert back into some more immature energy. I also get the sense that they're stalling with the Six of Swords here. And I don't think that they want to fully give up their choices, because we have the Lovers and the Knight of Wands. For some of you, it's about having kids. This person may be feeling restless about that, restless about their own youth. They may be nostalgic. Also, this person, it might be just like a life choice or a career thing where they're kind of in a liminal space, kind of in between. They're thinking a lot about the past. I think also this person may have a lot of fond memories with you. What I'm getting at is some of you have a partner that might be thinking about going back to like an old job or an old hobby or something they used to have. There's something that they want to explore their choices on. They may go back to something from the past. They are trying to move on from something, maybe with you even. They are open to choices. I do think, though, that they thought you were in alignment with them in a lot of ways, because Gemini is about the cauldron. We have a lot in common with Gemini. They care about total value alignment. Like we care about universal values and morals, and Gemini is more about helping you find what's right specifically for you. So this person does think like that there was a commonality here between you, but they're kind of all over the place right now. I don't know how committed they are at the moment, but the way someone's feeling is the moon. So heavy emotion and confusion. Things aren't as they seem. This person has cyclical feelings. 1 minute they may feel one way, then they may feel another way. When the moon comes out for feelings, I would definitely say they may or may not have emotional authority in their human design, but this is definitely a person that needs to act like that right now. Like they need to take their time and get in touch with their feelings. But clarifying this is the Wheel of Fortune, the Knight of Cups, and the Five of Wands. This person is playing out cycles. They may keep going back to like a water sign, in particular of Pisces, but they never get along with that person. I think that what they do is they play out these cycles over and over again where they're very romantic and they're very creative and they come in like a knight in shining armor, and then the two of you just butt heads over everything. And they're worried about that. They think about it. They think about it with somebody, and the tension. And here's how they see you. I also think this person, again, I'm seeing younger energy here. These two knights, the Six of Cups, the Lovers, we can all express in that way and be in the energy of a knight, but it might just be a bit less mature than what you were hoping for. And the reason I say that is because of what it looks like you're offering. Now, again, this could be role reversal. I feel like the two, you with this person are like, you know what? It's like, I do see that we always fight. Maybe we are idealistic. Maybe we are a little we overly romanticize the relationship. We do keep going back to like a honeymoon phase or youthful fun times. We struggle to work things out, but my intuition tells me that things can move forward with this person. But I think you're not sure. And here's why. Because the High Priestess comes out when we are not trusting our primal intuition and our primal instincts, and we feel the need to dial it up a notch and tap into psychic intuition. This person might be trying to psychically, intuitively find out like where you are, your next move. Like they could be pulling a High Priestess maneuver on you, but this is how they see you. In blue, with the wise owl sitting on your crown. She's the keeper of divine feminine knowledge. This person may see you as spiritual, mysterious, very meditative. I'm also hearing very pious at the moment because you look like you're more about your values, your morals, your standard convictions. Your cards over here look based on like your convictions. So this person may see you as very influenced by your cultural beliefs, spiritual beliefs, religious, social, political beliefs, but like you keep it all to yourself. They see you as somewhat different and unique, I'm hearing. But that you believe what you believe. Clarifying this is Justice, the Page of Pentacles, and the Four of Wands. This sure looks like, hey, honey, look at this house I found for us to live in, or do you want to come over and work this out and make this right? You may be saying to them, I'm just sitting here and waiting to know if like you want to make something further happen with me. Do you want to seal the deal? Do you want to explore moving in together? This also could be like maybe going to legal counseling, marriage counseling. There could be something to do with children, child support. I'm hearing that some of you might be working through a separation. And this might be something about like needing to solidify like where the kids live, where they stay, like how different things are going to be taken care of and split between the two of you. Like this could be like about custody and where everybody lives and stuff like that, or where people will go. I'm hearing something about a legal name change as well for a kid. Okay. Lots of kids are changing their names these days. All of my kids did, by the way. It was interesting. So I'm hearing stuff like that that's happening. But here's what you need to know. It's like this, there was an offer made. Now, maybe they made the offer to you and you're the one that's like, I'm not sure about that. Because it's like I see somebody working stuff out here with you, but then they don't seem sure. Here's what you need to know or your advice, Libra, the Eight of Swords. I'm going to state it as your advice first. This isn't solution focused, like you're all trapped in your head about something. Watch out for looping, racing thoughts all the time. And free yourself from your own mind. Clarifying this is the Two of Cups, the Two of Swords, and the Ace of Cups. Okay. You need to make a decision, and it's just a surface level decision, whether you maybe want to open up to something new or offer this cup to this person. You do need to look yourself in the mirror, look yourself in the eye, get square with yourself, and then you need to talk to this person about it. Also, what you need, if this is what you need to know about this person, they're trapped in their head about like, they know that they can talk to you, but they're not sure if they want to take it to the next level with you or if they want to even pursue something else. You don't need to decide right now, but it is just a surface level choice. It's almost like this person wanted freedom, and then the minute he got freedom, he or she got freedom, then they got all trapped in their head about it. And now they're not sure they want it, or maybe you're not sure you want it. Take your time, because this final outcome is the Seven of Cups. Is this like a Russian roulette kind of choice for somebody? Why does he have his eyes closed? Like, who closes their eyes when they look at the cups? Like, turn around and look at the cups. Someone's not sure. They have a lot of options to explore. I did clarify this quite a bit because the initial cards that came out were the King of Cups, the Knight of Wands, and the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, you could be dealing with a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, and this Knight of Wands might be someone else that he or she is interested in. Maybe the King of Cups is someone else the Knight of Wands is interested in, but I'm just going to read it because it's general. I can't offer up 10 million different possibilities here, just the ones that I feel. You're dealing with a person who does want to feel grounded into their emotions, and they do want to make an emotionally intelligent choice and an emotionally diplomatic choice. But the King of Cups can be a little hedonistic, a little extra, also very intense, very emotional. We do have the moon here, and he is confused. But what's interesting to me is, in spite of his confusion and all of his choices, he is very much in a rush to the altar, maybe, or to a serious commitment. I mean, the Knight of Wands is moving towards something new here. So it could be a job, could be solidifying an engagement with you or something like that. Could be he wants to plant a seed that will manifest into abundance, he or she, with the King of Cups or as the King of Cups. And I wanted just a little bit more. I am going to do an extended reading, you guys, but I was like, nah, I'm doing this here. I was like, okay, well, tell me a little bit more about this. Some of you may meet this person like out of nowhere. Somebody may come in out of nowhere that you're like, wow, but I'm not really sure. But this person here with the Tower, the Three of Pentacles, and the Star, they want something to quickly change. They want something to quickly change. They're hoping that you'll see the hope that they see. I wanted more. I was like, yeah, but is this about Libra or not? Like, who's it about? What's it about? Tell me more. And I got the Four of Swords, the Eight of Swords, and the Empress. I think that's you, but we could be dealing with another Libra or a Taurus. This is a mother figure, maybe. Someone's worried about what a mother figure thinks. Also, this could be about pregnancy, having more kids. This person could be somewhat intimidated by you. And also they're struggling to take action. Somebody needs some time to think about all of this. Like, how is this going to impact you? Like, how do my other choices impact Libra? How are my choices impacting this person? Yeah. And just not being sure what everybody wants. So I pulled out quite a bit about this person. Overall, I said, please tell me more, Spirit. And, you know, like, something is transforming. There's also anger. Someone's been moving too slowly and they don't like that. Now they don't know what to do. And there has been some kind of pain, being stabbed in the back. You know what? If any of you are going through a health crisis, you're going to make a full recovery. Let me just throw that out right there. In particular, if you were injured in a sports activity, but not necessarily. But like, there's been pain, but someone wants to move on to something new. Fire sign showing up here. I feel like this person has a bit of a grand vision for themselves, but then they stall. So they don't know what to do right now, regardless of who this person is. This could, by the way, just be a friend that calls you up over the weekend and says, can you help me figure this out? And you're like, sure, let me tap into spirit for them. Because this person sees themselves as the Eight of Swords. They're struggling to see a lot of things. The way they feel is the moon. Again, I'm like, okay, here we go. And their action is the Nine of Swords. My goodness, this person probably has air in their chart, although many other signs are capable of doing this shit to themselves, right? This is what we do, right? Clearly, we have not cornered the market on this. This person's all kind of stressed out right now. Okay, mid-month, you need to know that someone around you, maybe more than one person around you, is just like, ay, ay, ay. They struggle with limiting beliefs. They might not be sleeping great. They might be very anxious. They're definitely all over the place. And I wanted to know what the anxiety was about. And money, Five of Pentacles to the Four of Pentacles to the Nine of Cups. Does somebody save all their money for their drinking slush fund, their slushy fund, their drunky fund over the weekend? Not a fan of the Nine of Cups being here with these cards. Because here's the thing, Libra. Let me throw a little bit of psychoanalyzation in like Carl Jung would have done. Carl Jung was my original inspiration for tarot. He was into alchemy. And he combined it into some of his therapeutic practice too. Here's the thing that all taught me. When we get this and this together, somebody's doing something that's very, like they're faced with something stressful that they don't want to face, probably because they're getting a lot of what they want out of the situation. So this person's in a situation where they're worried about money and finances. They're feeling left out in the cold. They're very stressed out about like not having enough resources, not being able to afford something. And so I always feel like if the Five of Pentacles is your problem, the Four of Pentacles is a good reaction to that. If you feel a lack of resources, you feel left out in the cold, you don't feel like there's anybody that's there for you, you feel like you're barely hanging in there. And also the Five of Pentacles can sometimes suggest that a person is a little too proud to ask for help. These people are right outside of a church. What we normally see in the Five of Pentacles is the door open, but these people are so bewildered that they won't even go in where there's a free resource. It's as if they don't feel like they can take advantage of that at all. So, you know, if they feel like they don't have a lot of help, this is the natural response, to hold on to everything that they have, to not want to let go. You may be saying to someone, hey, I found something for you. And they're like, no, 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 no. I can't do this on my own. I need to find a woman or a man or a partner or something. And that may be true for them, but like they're holding back and holding on to what they've got. They don't have a lot to give. So if y'all were talking about like moving in together, getting a new place, or this is about like work, relocation, stuff like that, you need to know that your partner's worried about this, money and resources, or they're just holding back. But at the same time, it's like, sometimes a deal isn't that sweet, but in like one way. Like they may be very smugly satisfied where they are. They might not want to work any harder. This person also maybe kind of wants to rest on their laurels and they want instant gratification. Sometimes the Nine of Cups can really indicate that a person doesn't want to have to put in a lot of work. It might also indicate that a person doesn't want to have to pay a whole lot. This person might also be really happy just right where they are. And you might have made an offer to them that kind of made them feel like all of the sudden they couldn't say yes until they explored all their possibilities. Weird-ish with this. I don't know. People do that. Here's why I say that, because I had to use 3 oracle decks. I wanted to flesh out a lot for you in case you didn't want to buy the extended. I was like, all right, what's this person doing? They're networking. Yeah, they are. They're the networker with the 7 of Cups and the Moon. They're like, I don't know what I want now. 8 of Swords, I'm trapped in my head. 2 of Swords, I don't know what I want. They don't know what they want. They are checking out multiple options. This person's networking right now. Also flight and then freeze response. Okay, we have flight, freeze, and fawn on the table. And these are trauma-induced responses to life. It's a survival response and a trauma response. It's not always... Freezing and fawning are not necessarily trauma responses. We have plenty of legitimate reasons to do those things. They're a survival response. So they're kind of in survival mode here. They're networking right now. They may want to take a flight to come and see you. And now they're like, I don't know if I want to do that or not. But they might have pulled out of all of this and had a freeze response. Now they might be exploring other options. Some of you did need to hear that. Because here's what they have to say. I wish things could be different. I heard for me. I wish things could be different for me. I feel you even though we're apart. So they feel close to you in some way, even when you're not together, and they miss hearing your voice. They miss hearing your voice. And I also have, I want you back. So because the 10 of Swords is here with the sacrifice and death and chaos, one of you might have said to the other, like, look, this is too much. It hurts. It's too chaotic. I have to make a sacrifice. Like you have to make a sacrifice and I have to make a sacrifice. And if we can't, I might sacrifice this relationship. I think you guys might have broken up or will break up, but then they're going to say to you, I feel you even though we're apart. I miss hearing your voice, of course. and I want you back. And furthermore, I have a missing you card at the bottom of the Illumination Oracle deck. Yeah, see, they're going to want to spend time together, but then they're going to withhold because they feel inadequate. And then we got drinking down here. This person might be a little boozy. But here's their issue. They have unhealthy patterns that create obstacles ahead for them, and then they live in confusion. And that is literally this card combination right here. So this person does cause chaos and confusion for themselves. And I think that this person has an unhealthy pattern of creating obstacles for themselves and then confusing themselves. That's the chaos part. And that's what happens when we overthink things and we open up to so many possibilities that we just, our heads spin. I think you're over here going, I mean, you can explore all these possibilities, but I feel like I found the thing, you know, whatever. I'm also hearing that someone thinks you're, relies on you to, this might be a work thing. Some of you deal with a person that I'm hearing something about like a nonprofit. I don't know what they do, but they are all over the place. And they also don't have the best budget or resources, and like everything is just so stressful for them. And you might be over here going, hello, I found like the perfect X, Y, or Z for us or for you. And they might be like, I just can't see that, like, at all. Again, give them a minute. Because we all do this to ourselves, right? Like, we all trap ourselves in our head. We have these huge brains that are too smart. It's like the double-edged sword of being a freaking human being. So it's like, they do wish things could be different. They want to hear your voice, but they just don't even know what they want, and they miss you. And I'm like, oh, no. So some of you, if it's relationships, some of you are dealing with a person that doesn't want to lose you, but they also are confused about whether or not you are what they want. Yeah, and that's going to be different for each of you, because for some of you, this is, hey, do you want to start a brand new cycle of love? Like y'all just started dating or seeing each other or getting close. But for others of you, maybe you've been seeing each other for a while, because this looks like move in with me and they're just all over the place. And now it's a question of, do I want Libra or do I want someone else? So it doesn't matter where they are with you in this cycle, in this, like, it doesn't matter the timeline. It's like, they're just not sure about you. So Libra, I like your tarot, but I think some of you have learned a lesson, and I think it's an important one. And it might hurt right now, but I think you're really doing the right thing here. I can feel it. Because what you have to say is you don't know how hard it was to let you go. So you've had to let somebody go in some way. Again, be open-minded, doesn't have to be romantic. You had to let someone go, but you're grateful for the spiritual lesson. That's good, Libra. There's so much to learn. You got a spiritual lesson here. Also, I'm becoming a better person. See, I really am feeling like with the synergy and healing, and you have a choice between hope or chaos, and the mystical shaman coming out, the sacrifice coming out, the high priestess coming out. I really think your human morals and values, as well as your spiritual values, are really important to you right now. You're very focused on embetterment and personal development. So it's like whatever we went through here together, your perspective that I'm picking up on was, it was really hard to let you go, but I did learn a lot. It's helping me become a better person. But I think that, like, if you guys put yourself through a lot of chaos with this person only to have it come down to it just didn't work out and someone's quickly moving on, it was all part of your karma, and you did learn a lesson. And I get the sense that a lot of you learned it the hard way. I want you to know that you are not alone, babe. I learned all my lessons the hard way. Dude, I slept through my Saturn return. And then I had a decade of pain. But I made it through all of that. I'm alive. I'm 50 and I'm alive. I'm just picking up on like, ooh, this was a lesson to help with your karmic journey, which we cannot escape. But it started with fawning. Oh my, just being very accommodating, putting on rose-tinted glasses. We fawn when we want to make another person comfortable, more so than ourselves. So you were kind of fawning, and then all of a sudden your pride and ego is bruised. You didn't see this person. I think it's what they did something that you missed, like your red flag detector was turned off, or you were ignoring it because you were too busy putting them up on a pedestal for a while. And that resulted in your pride and ego being bruised. And now you're saying, I regret this decision entirely. I shouldn't have even bothered. But some of you are, and then I have at the bottom of the deck, I have family and childhood wounds. I also have mind games. Don't put the cart before the horse. Why is this important? Some of you have a past that led you to a place where you are now, where maybe it is harder for you to take your own good advice the first time around. And you might have played out a cycle with this person and it went the way you thought it would, but you were hoping it wouldn't. And I think that might be because in your own childhood, some of your own childhood wounds involved maybe mind games in your family system being played. Maybe you let them play a mind game with you. Maybe you thought you could play a little mind game with them. I hate to break it to all air signs, but we are the champions of mind games, and we sometimes play them without even realizing it. And that might have happened, and that might be why you regret your decision now. And yes, your pride and ego is bruised, but your tarot, you look very, very Libra right now. And you're buddying up with Leo and Capricorn, and all three of those are very, very focused on community, tribe, fairness, balance, not doing things that are bad for us, wanting growth, wanting change, wanting innovation, and also wanting the truth and standing up for truth. You see yourself as strength. Wow. Leo energy here. And you're closing your own mouth. See how the Empress is closing the lion's mouth? Like, don't say it. Don't say it. Over the weekend, some of you guys are going to have to sit on your hands not to text this person. And you're going to have to like sew your lips shut. Like, Also, I'm hearing like the way you feel is justice and your action is the Eight of Swords. It's like, I am standing in my own sovereign feelings and thoughts. I'm going to deliver justice. If there was anything to do with like court, contracts, all of that, you're like, I'll handle all this. And I think I'm dead ass right. You feel like you're correct. You feel like you're the one stating and speaking a definitive truth based on compassion, morals, ethics. You do have a lot of pride right now. If you have Leo in your chart, that's why your pride and ego is bruised. I have some fire in my chart. I get my ego bruised easily sometimes as a result too, but it's like, I don't see you doing anything like shitty or whatever. It's like you feel justice. You want to bring balance. You're willing to handle consequences. That's the thing about Libra. It's like, all right, I'll take my licks. We'll take our licks, right, Libra? Like when we feel like justice is being served onto us, as you guys know, I'm a Libra too. Like if we get a consequence, sometimes we might whine and be like, that's not fair. But usually Libra's like, yep, totally saw that one coming. I definitely had that one coming. But this is what you have coming too. It's like you lay it all out there and you think you're correct. Your action is the Ace of Swords. You're going to speak your truth. You absolutely are. I also think that you really expect someone else to put their money where their mouth is. It's like you're either going to commit all or nothing. And I wanted to know what that Ace of Swords was. And I got the Wheel of Fortune, the Devil, and Judgment. You know what, Libra? I feel like for you, this is about seeing with clarity, like the truth is ringing crystal clear in your mind about the cycles that you've been playing out and what they lead to. We could just have a Scorpio or a Capricorn involved, but it's like I feel like you're saying, I know where this always leads to. Problems, trouble. And something has really got to be different now. This may be a little surface level choice for you, but this is about my greater destiny. And it's like, I want to work through my cycles of karma. I want to wrestle my demons and like integrate them and not let them rule my life. It's like, I think you care about a lot of things in life right now. Societal morals and values, like the state of humanity and where it's going. You may also be giving this person advice about like their lifestyle choices and all that. You're like, I mean, look, I cut out red meat and cigarettes and alcohol. What are you doing with your life? Like you might be saying stuff like that. We need to make a decision. Something's got to change. There's things we can't ignore. I think I'm hearing, I know what I believe. I know what I want. I am firm. I think that you see a pattern that this person gets into. And you're like, we're not doing that anymore. So you look really solid. It's this person that's all over the place right now, Libra. So I feel like Spirit's saying, I mean, you have a choice. You saw the oracle messages and the advice. What are you willing to sacrifice? What are they willing to sacrifice? It's like, I think that there are some things that you are not willing to do anymore. And I feel like you know what your choices are, but this person doesn't. Because we've gotten a confusion card and I miss you and I want you back, I rolled my eyes and I was like, oh my God, why can't anybody just... It's like, why is Scorpio the only one that gets to go one and done? We're done. I noticed that Libras, like their breakups are not clean. It takes us a while, right? Because people do this to us. I miss talking to you. I miss getting your advice. I miss getting your guidance. Libra's a cardinal sign. We lead people whether we want to or not. So it's like, I think I need to do an extended because despite the fact that this person's unsure about you, Spirit seems to think that they may want you back. And I'm like, oh boy. So if this is the cycle you play out, if you said to this person and to yourself, I know that this cycle never changes with them, but it's going to change for me right now. I learned my lesson. I got my consequence, and it did make me a better person. You can rock on with your badass self. It's like what I see you saying here. I also feel like you're delivering a warning to this person. I feel like Spirit delivered a warning to this person through you. I'm hearing this person may have some health challenges as well. I do think that you did have on rose-tinted glasses and you were a little too accommodating at first, but I feel like you're about to eliminate the negative. But if you feel like you need to know a little bit more about what this person wants, check out the extended because I want to know. I do predict that they're going to say, hey, I want to come and see you. I want to spend time together. I'm still confused. Maybe things will, maybe this 7 of Cups is going to go away, you know, and it'll be you're the choice. So allow transformation, Libra. And remember, it's always darkest before the dawn. Things will get better moving forward. I see success here. All right. I hope it resonates and I hope it helps. I'm always listening to the universe for you, Libra. Take care. I love you guys and I'll see you next time.